Hi bass players, Tatiana is here, welcome back. In today's video I want to talk through one of the smoothest tricks in the bass player's toolkit. It's chromatic transitions between chords. If you want to sound more connected, more professional and more intentional in your lines, this is for you. So what do we mean by chromatic transitions? You probably remember that we usually have a tone of difference between notes in a scale and just a couple of semitones. The basic formula for the major scale is 2 tones plus a semitone and then 3 tones plus a semitone. A tone consists of 2 semitones, 1 semitone equals 1 fret, so a tone equals 2 frets. For example, this is the G major scale. It looks like this on the fretboard. So we have 1 tone, 1 more tone, a semitone, 3 tones now, 1, 2, 3, and a semitone at the end. With chromatic transitions, we use all semitones between notes. For example, in the G major scale, it could be notes between B and D. This is how we play it as a part of a scale. And this is chromatic. Now we are using a note that doesn't belong to the scale, just a half-step movement. When used right, the chromatic notes in between the main notes add forward motion and glue everything together. The chromatic transitions are often used to walk from one root tone to the next one. Let's say we are going from G to C. We can play it just jumping from one note to the next one, right? Or we can play it using the scale. Or we can add some chromatic transitions like this. Here I added a chromatic transition starting from the second scale note, which is A. I can also try it the whole way chromatic, but I will need to adjust the rhythm if I want to come to C as a strong beat. Or if you want to make the note durations shorter in this passage, not the quarter notes or crotchets, but the eighth notes or quavers. It looks like this. This is the example when I start the chromatic transitions on the note A. You can see that I used the same notes as I played it with crotchets or quarter notes, and I just squeezed them up to quavers or the eighth notes. And this is how I adjusted for the whole way chromatic transition. You see, I needed to squeeze the passage even more, adding one more note to it, so I made it the triplets for the first beat. Now, where exactly can we use chromatic transitions? They work beautifully, especially in a few specific cases. For example, at the end of the bar leading to the next chord. This is an example of it. This is a piece C Jam Blues by Duke Ellington. Here I made a chromatic transition for a whole bar, moving from C major chord to F major. You might wonder why I play E flat for a strong beat number 3, while it shall be a chord note, and in C major it's E natural, not flat. I did it because blueses are very special. They are ambivalent, they are both major and minor at the same time. It's a kind of a paradox in music, and it works. Chromatic transitions are good when we are working from one root tone to another root tone. For example, this is a snippet from Corcovado by Antonio Carlos Jobim. I played a chromatic transition here from the fifth of G minor chord, which is D, through the note D flat to the root tone of the next chord, which is C. Then I repeated the trick from the fifth of C major chord, which is G, through G flat to F, which is a new root tone. Chromatic transitions can be used between the chord notes of one long-lasting chord. And here I can come back to the C Gem Blues, which I showed you, because there we have 4 bars of just one chord, C major. Here I transitioned from the chord note number 3, which is E in C major chord, to the note number 5, which is G. Then from the note number 3 to the note number 1, which is the root tone C, and then from that C, number 1, the root tone, to the next root tone, which is F. In these examples I showed you, I used chromatic transitions in blues and jazz, but also they can be used in all styles, funk, rock, pop, whatever. Let's take a simple groove and build it up with chromatic transitions. This is going to be an example of a typical rock bass line, and I took just a random chord progression and a very simple one, G and C subdominant, then D as a dominant and back to G. And I will play just a random groove for it, both with and without chromatic transitions, and we will see the difference. If you want, you can play accents like this with your drummer together, like da 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 da, something like this, and you will see that people will love it. So you see that the chromatic transitions can be used pretty simply on the fly without thinking too much, and they add a lot to the groove. Now there are a couple of tips for chromatic transitions. I've been focusing on them in this video, so probably I overdid them a little bit. In practice, it's better not to overuse them, and less is often more. And the second thing, always listen to how the transitions you make sound rhythmically. If this helped you understand better how to use chromatic transitions between chords, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and let me know in the comments if you use chromatic transitions in your very own grooves. You're welcome to share this video with your fellow bassists, and I will see you next time. Happy grooving!